Hello everyone, VJ Fruity back in for another edition of What's on Deck. Actually, I'm just going to do Kickstarter in this video. I'm going to split into two videos because obviously there's lots to talk about with Black Friday. And hopefully this works. I've been having some difficulty. But let's get on with what's on Kickstarter. First, we got the Impressionals Cardinal Edition. Make playing cards. It's well funded, 18 days to go. Two different decks available there, of course. Black one you see and a green one. Go check it out if you're interested. And you should check it out anyways, I guess. Bicycle Cinema playing cards, some collectible playing cards is 95% funded, 13 days to go. Just a matter of time on that one. I will find it's a pretty interesting and unique deck you should check out. Next, we got Outbreak playing cards by Jeanette Dunnett, and it is a zombie themed deck. 0% funded, 27 days to go. Let's have a look. That's pretty horrible. I haven't got any funding yet. Pretty cartoony, as you can see, character-wise. It looks like they're going to come in a regular tuck case and inside a tin, and or you choose which one you want, I guess. I'm not too sure. Oh yeah, you can get either just a standard tuck case or a metal tin. Pretty cool that it says don't open on there. They've broken up these suits, as you can see. Black suits are survivals. The red suits are zombies. The black suits feature weapons in the pips, bullets, daggers, whatever, bullet and a knife. And the hearts and diamonds feature a brain and a heart, it looks like, within the pips. Two things I guess zombies are missing. The characters, you can see, are pretty goofy looking, cartoony. Not too exciting, I think. I'll just look at it some more here. Number cards. They feature, it says survivals, actually it says Urvivals with a big S, and Zombies with a big Z, and the pips within the letter. That's kind of weird. And they got blood splatter all over the faces as well. And here's your back design. Definitely far from exciting. It's also a one-way back design because it is toxic symbol in the center. Everything else is mirror image. The borders also look kind of big. And all we see is digital renders on there. Not too exciting. I prefer to actually see a prototype or something that at least looks real as opposed to just a digital render. Printed by MPC. Make playing cards. And you can get either a standard tuck case or a metal tin, as you can see. What is the price? Let me see. Maybe that's the reason. $21 for one deck, regular deck. $35 for one in a steel, in a metal tin, I should say, not steel. That's pretty expensive, and it's probably why it's not funding. And yeah, that is Canadian, so it's a few bucks less in American, but that still is going to turn off people. So, next up, we got Millennium playing cards by Raziv Mongia. 13% funded, 4 days to go. It's not going to happen at that rate. Armed Forces playing cards from Robert Tomlinson, a.k.a. Barclay Mountain. He's got that one funded, 100%, 3 days to go. It's under a different account for some reason, but it is what it is. Next up, Gracia playing cards from Empire Arts, 59% funded, 13 days to go. May or may not happen. Looking less and less likely at this rate because they're barely over the halfway mark, but we'll see. We'll find out next week how it's doing. Enigma playing cards by Hector Arabetta Perez Bezzarano, 36% funded, 18 days to go. Not a deck that I'm overly excited about. This one previously was on Indiegogo and it failed, and now it's here. Now it's black instead of green, and still not doing too good. Next up, Russian Folk Art Limited Edition playing cards from Natalia Silva, 86% funded, 9 days to go. It should fund, just a matter of time, but a lot of backers are probably stretching their money quite a bit with all these, well, there's Kickstarter projects and there's lots of other decks that have come out over the last couple of days, so a lot of people might be putting off backing that project and other projects too. Next up, Divine Art playing cards by Sinise Chaba. It's funded, $65 to go. Make sure you check it out if you have not done so already. It's a pretty nice deck. Soccer City playing cards by Elise Iberica is 29% funded, 7 days to go. Not looking too likely at this rate. Treble Clef deck, version 1, red limited edition by JD14, 85% funded, 17 days to go. Pretty nice deck. I like it. I think you should check it out. Then we got Cardology, The Mystery of the Hidden Calendar and Playing Cards by Timothy Daffin Rudd, 12% funded, 26 days to go. Let's have a look. It's not looking too good for a $7,000 goal, and well, and not even a seventh of the way in. It's it's an interesting idea. Playing cards got a calendar type thing going on there with them, as everyone knows. If you're not familiar with that, I mean, here we go. The deck of cards, 52 cards. There's 52 weeks in a year. There's 4 suits, represent the 4 seasons, 13 cards in each suit, and 13 weeks in each season. Red for day, black for night. All the cards, numerical values totaled up equals 365. But I believe you have to count the Joker for that. If you count 2 Jokers, you get 366, which is for the leap year. And other stuff as well. So they decided to create a deck based on that. It's an interesting idea. You got really big indexes, lots of information on there, way too much information. Who's going to sit there and read a freaking book on playing cards? That's what it looks like to me. I mean, there's way too many words on there. Keep it simple, keep it brief. We don't need a whole encyclopedia of information on the playing cards. They got different planets and stuff on different cards, as you can see. Spades representing spring, diamonds representing winter, hearts representing summer, and clubs representing fall. The back design's, it's not bad. It's pretty nice. It's mirror image. Actually, no, it's not mirror image. I've seen it's quite different. Just everything in the center here is different from one side to the other. But it's pretty nice, nonetheless. Actually, there's other differences in the corners too, I think. I mean, it's pretty nice overall. There you see it. All sorts of stuff. All this writing around the circle is different. Definitely a one-way. Wow, that's a whole lot of information. To be produced by... No freaking idea. He's not told us who's producing these cards. There's also an animation that you get when you flip through the 52 cards of a star and a planet finder. Whatever that means. $15 for one deck, Celestial Edition. $25 for 2 decks. It's not bad, the prices, but we have no idea who's producing them. So that's a bit of a turnoff. Next up, moving along. Overlords playing cards by 2 Geeks Gaming. It's 11% funded, 21 days to go. Again, not looking good. Haven't even hit $1,000, and they're looking for $8,000. It's pretty much, as you can see, these are to be produced by Nor Arts. They're pretty much standard court cards that have been modified with custom pips and indexes. And pretty much fairly standard number cards with a watermark in the background and a custom index. Nice back design, I'll say that much. It's a pretty nice back design. Although I would have preferred white borders with the white faces, personally. And I think it would actually look better instead of black with the black. But whatever. It's pretty nice. And they actually have different people for different court cards that they've identified. And you get the Jokers. And there's also going to be a high gloss limited edition, which is this, which is printed by Make Playing Cards, more than likely. Which, as you can see the texture, the embossing on there pops out, which is very nice. And those are some pretty interesting cards. I'm not familiar with those, unless that's just the other variation of the deck. 14 bucks for one. Yeah, price isn't too bad. A little bit pricey, but not bad, I guess. So I got that one. Not looking too good, though. Next, we got Magnificent Luxury Playing Cards by Jeff, which is from Home Run Games. It's 14% funded, 25 days to go. And it's not looking too good at this rate. Again, it's a pretty big goal, $18,000. There's a red deck and a blue deck, I do believe. It's got a vintage style tuck ace. 10 bucks each, 20 bucks for the two. Very nice. The back designs are pretty simple, traditional type back designs. Just fine, but I mean, a lot of times people like decks on Kickstarter that are a little more fancy and high end, and this is pretty simple, you know. It's not too exciting, in my opinion. Nothing wrong with it, but it's not overly exciting. The cards, they got a vintage style to them as well for custom ace. And you also can get metal decks. That's what it's all about. And again, metal decks. How many times are they going to produce metal decks? Obviously, people are not interested. They're not buying them. They haven't funded yet. They probably won't fund. There's going to be a brass deck and a steel deck, over 1 pound each, or actually over 1.5 pounds in weight. Only 100 of each color, each numbered on a foil seal, and also with a metal certificate card. And this is what they look like. It's just fine. But, I mean, we've already seen metal decks from these guys before, and they're expensive. Especially at this time of year. Why on earth would you release metal decks? Expensive, you know, $100 decks or whatever they are. $100 the early bird for one steel deck and a blue deck, or a red deck and a blue deck. 200 bucks get you all 4 decks. That's expensive, and that's the early bird. 220 bucks is the regular price for all 4, and nobody's pledged that much. Only 6 people have pledged 200 bucks. The problem is, like I said, it's the holiday season, it's Black Friday, people are spending money like crazy. The last thing they want to do is spend 200 bucks to get a couple of decks of cards, and I'm pretty sure nobody's going to want to buy just the one, they're going to want both. So that's a lot of money to be asking for people at this time of year, and I don't think it's going to happen. El Dorado, Maya Edition playing cards, relaunch from Emmanuel Valtierra, is 92% funded, 26 days to go. 2 decks available there. Pretty good prices. Recommend checking it out. And it's just a matter of time. It's going to fund. Next up, we got A Day at the Races, horse race playing card deck by Kevin Finn. And I apologize for taking a bit long with this video. I'll try to get on with it here. It's another one that's not doing good. Not even $1,000 so far for $10,000 goal. I don't see it happening. It doesn't help that they just got these cards. Looks like they printed off on a computer or something. They got squared corners, which is not what anyone wants to see. It's inspired by horses and horse racing. The art is, I mean, it's okay. They put some effort into it, but it's not anything that really excites me or interests me. The back design is not exciting at all. It's mirror imaged. I'll give them that much. But I don't really see what it has to do too much with horse racing aside from there's a horseshoe and there's a trumpet. And there's a ribbon, I guess. And I guess there's a racetrack on there as well. I would have preferred to see these actually with rounded corners, though. It would have given you a better idea of what they actually look like, as opposed to squared corners. And nobody wants, if it's going to be squared corners, that's an issue. Nobody wants that. $10 for the early bird, and, well, a lot of them are taken. but I don't think anyone's gonna pay $14 for these. um, I mean, it's an okay deck, but it's not overly exciting to be produced by. No freaking idea. It doesn't say who's producing them. I forgot to mention that metal deck. Oh, by the United States Playing Card Company. I apologize. Yeah, that's not likely going to happen. This other deck here, the Magnificent, those decks are being produced by the Freedom Playing Card Company in China, which produced some of their previous vintage decks by Michael Scott. It's a decent quality. Moving along. Can't be too many left. Dystopia playing cards from Joker and the Thief, 55% funded, 3 days to go. Barring a significant miracle, I don't think that's going to happen. It's been struggling and struggling. I think one of the major issues is international shipping is ridiculous. And I don't know where to get these shipping rates. You can look at any other project, you won't find rates like this. Like for me, it's charging me, what is it? I think it's $17 for the deck plus $12 shipping, $29 for one deck. That's pretty expensive. I mean, $12 shipping is not too bad if you're buying a couple of decks. From most websites, you know, it's usually $9, $10, $12 for shipping. But on Kickstarter, you expect the shipping rate to be, you know, $5 or $6 with some of that already in the price of the deck. And that's not what we're seeing there. So that's hurting the project. Then we got Kingdom of Outcasts art playing cards by C.J. Freeman by Anna Cortez. 24% funded, 18 days to go. I think I mentioned that one last week. It's a pretty strange deck. Interesting back design. The faces, just a lot of art, and only one index, which doesn't make them very usable. I don't remember who's producing them. I don't think it's going to happen. And there's one more I need to show you. But it's not under playing cards. I don't know why, but that could hurt. It's funding chances. There it is. Dylan by Elliot Felix. 7% funded, 19 days to go. $25,000 goal. I don't think it's going to happen. It's this case. I'll see if there's a video I can show you. Prototype. What's this? Oh. There's actually that's pretty interesting, a prototype gallery. Okay. Let me out of here. So here we go. It's a case that flips open into a dealing shoe. The only problem is storage of that case is a bit of an issue. And I know there was another project previously that tried a case like that and it did not get a whole lot of interest. But this one's different because it turns into a dealing shoe, as you can see, which is fine. It's $20 on the early bird, which is pretty expensive. $25 is the actual price once those. Wow, 500 early birds. And 452 are still left. That's not too good. The problem is, then you have this custom deck that goes along with it. And I mean, it's nice. It's custom artwork, a nice back design, nice faces. Unfortunately, the Ace of Spades has nothing going on, and I don't see any jokers. And I don't know who's producing the cards. The problem is, you're producing a deck like this. It says it's being made in USA, whatever that means. The problem is when you're producing something like this, it tends to be aimed at people who are playing blackjack or poker or something like that. And I don't think that these faces really benefit or are going to be interesting to blackjack or poker players. He should have kept them a little more standard looking, if not completely standard, because people who are going to play blackjack or poker or whatever that would use something like this would want something familiar and identifiable. And I've seen comments on the forum from people who don't think that this is very practical for blackjack and stuff like that. But it's an interesting project nonetheless, I think. And an interesting deck. Let's check out Indiegogo very quickly. A couple things to talk about on here, no doubt. Bear with me, it's loading. Hopefully it doesn't freeze on me. Okay. Of course, there is the butterfly playing cards on here, and they're doing pretty good. They're funded, right here, well funded. 24 days to go. They do have a stretch goal. I think it's $30,000 for a red deck. May or may not hit that. They got 24 days to go. They may have gotten the majority of their funding already. But it's a very nice deck, and it's got some hidden features for magicians. Fairly standard faces, because it's made by magicians for magicians. But it's very nice. I like it, and I do recommend checking that one out. Creepypasta playing cards, 4% funded, 4 days to go. Ain't gonna happen. Mate social playing cards, 2% funded, 28 days to go. That's not gonna happen. I think the last thing you want to happen when you're going out with someone is to pull out a deck of cards and start using that to ask each other questions. That's just pretty weird. I think that's it for decks, really. Oh, Strain Wars playing cards. 0% funded, 17 days to go, exactly where it should be. He's already tried this a number of times on Kickstarter. He failed each and every time, even with a mediocre goal. And now he's trying on Indiegogo, which has like a 0% fund rate for most decks. But that is that. That's what's going on in the world of Kickstarter and Indiegogo. Let me know what you think. Comment, subscribe. Check out my sponsor, collectibleplayingcards.com. Use the code VJOSE32 to save 10%. And actually, there's a discount this weekend, 15% off. I believe it's BF15, the code. I could be wrong, but it should be on the website anyways when you check it out. And that is that. See you next time. Thanks for watching.